Section 179, Powers of the Board. So powers of the board to be exercised by the board by means of a resolution passed at a duly convenient board meeting. So resolution should be, cannot be the circular resolution. Resolution must be, should be taken at meeting, board meeting, not circular resolution. For these items, what are the powers? Number 1, to make calls on shareholders in respect of money unpaid on their shares. Calls on shareholders. To make calls on shareholders in respect of money unpaid on their shares. For the unpaid shares, okay. That is the first point. Second point, to authorize the buyback of securities. To authorize buyback of securities. So when we go to buyback of securities, we have some condition, 10% and all, under section 68. So the power is given to board. Section 68 has to be followed to issue securities including debentures, whether in or outside India. issue to issue securities including debentures. It can be whether in India or outside India. Number 4, borrow monies. To borrow monies. Number 5, to invest funds. To invest the funds of the company. Sixth point, to grant loans or giving guarantee. So grant loans, giving guarantees. Or provide securities in respect of loans. Point number 7, to approve the financial statements. Approve the financial statements and board's report. Point number 8, to diversify the business of the company. Business of the company. Point number 9, to approve financial statements. That is over. Now approve amalgamation, merger, reconstruction, to take over company or acquire controlling or substantial stake in the another company. To take over take over company or acquire controlling or substantial substantial stake in another company. 11th, any other matters prescribed. So these are the points. Powers of the board. But as for the borrowing the money, borrowing money, investment of the funds, and the grant of loans, 3 points. A, B, C, D, E, because it is mentioned in alphabets. E, F, G, H, I, J. So D, E, F, D, E, F, D, E, F of this section may be decided by board by circulation. This can be done in circulation. MCQ question possible, but only for the section 8 company. Only for the section 8 company. What are D, E, F? D is a borrowing, E is a investment, F is granting the loans or a guarantee or a security. So this is a very important point. So circular resolution is not possible for other company except for section 8 company. Borrowing, investment, granting of loan is possible through circulation. And also D to F, D, E, F, borrowing, investment, granting of loan can be delegated. Powers can be delegated to any committee of directors. It can be delegated to any committee of directors. It can be delegated to MD. It can be delegated to manager. It can be delegated to principal officer of the company. It can be delegated to principal officer of the branch in case of branch officer. So committee of directors, MD, manager, principal officer of the branch in case of a branch. So these powers can be delegated, but only in the case of D, E, F. Company's rules also prescribed certain powers that also should be in board meeting. Cannot be circulation. In that, first one is to make contribution, political contribution. Second is to appoint or remove the key managerial person. Appoint or remove key managerial person. Point number C is to appoint a internal auditor or a secretarial auditor, but the exemption is given to banking companies. So these are the powers of the board. We seen what are the powers. Section 179 we seen first what are the powers: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Then we see in the circulation can be done for the section 8 company for the DEF, that is borrowing, investment and granting of loans, and the powers can be delegated in the case of DEF, borrowing, investment, granting of loan, to committee of directors, MD, manager, principal officer in the case of branch. And we see rules also prescribes the more power to board of directors, and the exemption also we see these are covered under section 179. It is very important for the examination point of view also. So these are the study material. Section 179 of the company's provides board of directors. According to this section, board of directors is entitled to exercise the same power as the company is authorized. The board of directors of a company shall be entitled to exercise all such powers and to do all such acts and things as the company is authorized to exercise and do. However, while exercising such power or doing such act or thing, the board shall be subject to the provisions contained in that behalf of this act, that is section 179, or in the memorandum or articles, or in any regulation not inconsistent therewith and duly made thereunder, including regulations made by the company in general meeting. So articles of association can be done, certain rules can be restricted. Exception to the board's power: the board shall not exercise any power or do any act or thing which is directed or required, whether under this act or by the memorandum or articles of the company, or otherwise to be exercised or done by the company in general meeting. So they cannot do exercise any power other than this. Prospective effect: no regulation made by the company in general meeting shall invalidate any prior act of the board which would have been valid if that regulation had not been made. Powers of the board: powers of the board to be exercised by the board by means of a resolution passed at a duly convened board meeting, cannot be circulation, that is subsection 3. To make calls on shareholders in respect of money unpaid on their shares authorized by banks security under section 68C. To issue securities including debentures whether in or outside India. To borrow monies. D. E. To invest the funds. F. To grant loans or give guarantee or provide security in respect of loans. G. To approve the financial statements and the board report. H. To diversify the business of the company. I. To approve the amalgamation, merger, reconstruction. J. To take over company or acquire a controlling or substantial stake in another company. K. Any other matter which may be prescribed in Rule 8 of the companies. So we see in that also. But exemption is given to section 8 company with regard to D, E, F of the section 3, subsection 3 of 179. So they can do the board by circulation instead of meeting. Additionally, Rule 8 companies rules has prescribed certain more powers. What is that? That also board of directors only by means of resolution passed at meeting. Circulation is not possible. First one, to make political contribution, to appoint or remove key managerial person, KMP, to appoint internal auditors and secretarial auditors. Then power to delegate certain powers. Any committee of directors, managing director, manager, any other principal officer of the company, or the principal officer of the branch office in case of the branch office of the company. exemption to the banking companies. However, the acceptance by the banking company in the ordinary course of its business of deposits of money from the public repayable on demand or otherwise and withdrawable by check, draft, order or otherwise, or the placing of monies on deposit by a banking company with another banking company on such conditions as the board may be prescribed shall not be deemed to be borrowing of monies, or as the case may be, making of loans by banking company within meaning of this section. Explanation also given. Nothing in the point D above shall apply to borrowings by banking company from the banking companies or from the Reserve Bank of India, the State Bank of India, or any other banks established by or under any act. Explanation number 2. In respect of dealing between a bank company and its bankers, the exercise by the company of the power specified in point D, that is borrowing of money above, shall mean the arrangement made by the company with its bankers from the borrowing of money by way of overdraft or cash credit or otherwise, and not actually day-to-day operations on overdraft, cash credit or other accounts by means of which the arrangements so made is actually availed of. The company through the general meeting has power to impose restrictions and conditions on the exercise by the board of any powers specified in this section. So this is with regard to section 179. Okay, we will have certain questions with regard to section 179. The shareholders want to sell the substantial parts of their assets and are ordering the board to do so. Can they do so? Shareholders wants to sell substantial part of their assets and are ordering the board to do so. Can they do so? Is it comes under section 179? Yes, they can do so, but that is a restriction is given under section 180. They have to take special resolution for that. So actually this is a question of section 180. Number 2. Can the board delegate the power of borrowing of funds? Delegation of power with regard to borrowing of funds. Can they do so? Yes, we see D, E, F of subsection 3 of the section 170. What is the subsection 179? D is a borrowing. We have categories. Committee of directors, manager, principal officer, or a principal officer of the branch. So this can. Yes. Number 3. Can the power of investing to be delegated to MD? Yes. Delegation, again investing. It will come point number E. Next question, it is 179, section 179. Can circular resolution be passed for the following items: to make calls, to buy back, issue securities outside India, borrow money from the bank? No. No circular resolution possible for that. Correct? Board meeting has to be done. Specified board meeting approval is required for these items as per section 179 subsection 3. Next question, 179. So these are the questions with regard to the section 179.